Yeah, title check in, Elliot Wilson. This is special, man. This guy got big on me, man. One of the biggest records in recent years, Roses. But what I love about it, he's not resting on his laurels, man. He got a whole new album dropping tonight at the time we're taping this, man. St. John, how you doing,
Right
sir?
there. I'm good, baby. I feel good. We right there. We around the corner from the whole turn up, from the whole world knowing.
How you feel, man, these last moments, man? We also have to put this back today because you put finishing touches on things. Like, I know how much of a perfectionist you are with your art. Like, talk about these like last moments when you know you're about to unleash like your latest collection to the world.
The very last moments are probably some of the most challenging because everyone thinks I'm crazy. You got a whole team and everybody on their phone and everybody's on their emails and everybody's picking up the calls to make sure that everyone hears this. And we're right in line because it's my third collection.
Yeah.
And 3 days ago, I finished the last Kanye record. Like, so
Yes.
they probably think I'm nuts. And then 2 days ago, I changed the entire arrangement of the collection because at the last moments is when you really get to see the big picture.
Yeah.
Let's say you building a house and you got the foundation, you got the pillars and the walls, so you can understand how the physical construction is going to be. By the time you put the shingle and you put the boards on and you build the walls, you got to step back and look at it and see if it was what you were trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 days before release, I go, oh, is this what I was trying to build? Nah, it's a little off. It should be pink and not green. I'm that guy, and I want them to change it.
So you are modern day Kanye in that sense, where you're going to tweak everything until like the last moment.
To the 30 seconds before I got to go out, I'm working on it. Like right now, right now we in the middle of editing a video that we just shot a day ago. So we were up all last night. I had the entire team, 4 of us in here, and we were editing through the night for the last maybe 15 hours, still editing. We haven't even exported it now. We got one more scene. Yeah. It's that, and it comes out tomorrow. It's that important, you know. Yeah. I'm on it like that, and I'm firsthand involved in every part of this process because I'm just executing a vision I had in my head.
What was the vision? I mean, it's such a powerful statement to say while the world was burning, and I saw even before that you put "We made art while the world was burning." Like, talk about the statement of that, and what was the overall vision? Why was it time for you to come back with a whole full collection?
I don't know if it was time, but I guess it is because it happened. I didn't have an intention on making this collection. When I started it, that wasn't the intent. I wasn't going to make anything this year.
Yeah.
The year pressed pause. The world went on fire. Protests happened. An election was happening. Police brutality was an all-time high for visibility. Unemployment is an all-time high. The president's talking the wildest he'd ever talked, that we'd ever seen a president. The world was on fire. Literally, California had smoke, fire in the air.
Yeah.
There were aliens got announced, UFOs. I saw that they had off-world vehicles. I was like, I'm trying to buy a Ferrari, but I might need to buy an off-world vehicle. I didn't know. So all of this is happening, and I'm in the crib, in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? I say everything, and I didn't even say pandemic. I said all of that, and the last thing was a pandemic.
Right.
I had to sort of internalize that. I'm sure every artist did. Everybody who was at home with gloves and masks on, scared to touch a Uber, was in a pandemic trying to figure out how to make art.
Yeah.
Content is just for people who are trying to survive. Art is for people who are artists. So all the artists that were trying to make art, I think they had to take a step back. And I did it myself. I got to look in the mirror, and I really had to contextualize this whole year. I had to put it in these parameters, the parentheses. You made all of this while the world was burning. All of these emotions that I felt, all of the things that I'm discussing, all of this happened while the world was burning. If these were, I don't even want to say it because sometimes I say things and they come to pass. But these days are like really trying. We watched a lot of people pass.
Yes.
Like we watched important people die. Yeah, it's been a rough year. So in the midst of that, I had to figure out how to still be myself, right? How to be affected, how to grow, but not make a left turn because the world's on fire. What would you do if everything was ending? I would be the same guy. Mm-hmm. Right? Just a couple of values around me might be a little different, how I'd exhibit it. So I put this year in a capsule.
Yeah.
I made all of this while the world was burning. The videos I've made, the movies I made while the world was burning. We made art while the world was burning. We made friends while the world was burning. We made memories while the world was burning. I made peace with people while the world was burning. We made bands while the world was burning. Think about it. Everyone that survived this year had a different experience.
Oh, yeah.
And while the world was burning, in the way I contextualized that language, we made art while the world was burning, because I want to know what you were doing when it happened. I did a couple of different things, and it's all in that capsule idea. I made ... while the world was burning. Actually, what were you doing while the world was burning?
Man, trying to figure it out. I mean, part of this was even doing this check-in thing of like, you know, even on IG in the beginning was like, I'm used to going running around interviewing people, right? So I can't like, so it's like, we got to get on these devices and we have to do it. So now it's become the norm, right? Like you're doing press all day and it's on Zoom, it's on video and these things. And like just jumping on that early, because I just felt like I miss traveling. I miss going to get the story, like lighting that fire as a journalist, you know? So it made you have to kind of reassess everything. So that's part of it, you know?
So you made reassessments while the world was burning.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think it challenged us all in that way, you know, and that was important for all of us. And, you know, I never thought we'd slow down like that, you know, and also to feel like, you know, we both in California, to feel the power of like people giving you curfews and you got to get home at a certain time. Like, you know, we're grown ass men. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just shows you how dark it could get. Like, I don't think anybody saw the magnitude of what came, but I think that, you know, I'm encouraged though, because I feel like we're getting past it. Even if we have to have another little lockdown, I feel like, you know, we're going to take control of this thing. And, you know, projects like what you did are inspiring, man. People that are taking that challenge on and created great art, you know, that's part of what motivates us all, you know?
Thank you, bro.
And I think what's interesting with this, to go back to the questioning, is like, what's unique about it is that you could just look at the surface level. Oh, you got all these big names now, right? St. John's is a rap star, so he got A-list, guest list. Like, who's turning you down, right? But I think it's very unique, and I wanted to ask you about the challenge of like being so passionate about your craft and opening it up to others in collaboration. Like, how do you pull that off effectively? How do you not get people not just because of their name, but how do you know that they fit certain music, and what is your key to collaboration?
Well, I'm honest about it. If it's not good or it doesn't improve my vision, if it doesn't enhance where I was trying to go, then I don't want to go there, and I don't want to lie about that. And I've set such an incredible standard with both of my previous collections, Collection 1 and Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs, so people understand the artists that I've been able to collaborate with, the people that have said yes, they understand the value of art that I bring to the table, and I think they respect it enough that without me having to add any additional coaching or any additional prepping, they know when they show up, they go all the way up for me.
Yeah, they ain't phoning it in, right? They ain't phoning it in for you, right?
Nah, creatively, everybody's on max because I'm on max. You know I'm not playing.
Yeah.
You know I'm doing everything on 10. Even if you just tapped in and you just discovered me this morning, listen to half a verse, half a bar, half a hook, half a melody, half an interview, and you know I'm not playing. So everyone that's witnessed it already, they respect it enough and they know it's real art.
Yeah. What made you revisit like two of the joints from Ghetto Lenny, High School Reunion, Monica Lewinsky? These aren't remixes. You've turned them into whole different songs. Added like Lil Uzi and the Baby. Like, why was it important to kind of revisit and remake these records in a sense?
Honestly, because I wasn't done. Roses taught me something really valuable, something I had already suspected, something I knew. Remember, I wrote Roses in 2015, put it out in 2016, toured the world with it. There was a hit record in Russia for 3 years, and then watched it become an enormous record around the world when we put another remix on it. It told me they haven't heard it till they've all heard it. And they ain't all hear it yet. Just because you missed some of the important moments doesn't mean I won't circle back. Right? If you're an artist, then you're not done painting until the canvas is the way you want it to look. So I went back to the canvas. So in 2019, what Monica Lewinsky and High School Reunion represented, what they felt like, what they were, is accurate. In 2020, when they became more adults, they became this: Monica Lewinsky election year, High School Reunion prom. You see you can see the maturation of it. In real time. The truth is, this is what it started here and it became this. And I'd never phone it in. So, you know, I won't cheat or cheapen myself. So when it was time to actually watch the record graduate or watch them become what they're supposed to be, I went back to the table. All the verses are different. The production is more amplified.
Absolutely. What was it like with that what was it, Iman Beck, the person, the producer who
I'm in
took
back,
it?
yeah.
I'm in Beck. How do you show your appreciation to that brother, man, for like, you know, putting what he put into it? Like, how is that relationship now, and how did that, and when did you start to realize that what he added was taking this record to like this high level?
It was obvious, to be honest with you. It was
Yeah.
obvious. Watching it find new places that it had never found.
Yeah.
It hit me when I laughed. I remember hearing the remix and I laughed, and I know anything that makes you laugh excites you. So I laughed, and then, because I could be a music snob at some point, right?
Yeah.
But I laughed. So it got past all the barriers of all my intentions, all those walls you put up when it has to cut through certain standards, and it makes you laugh and you go, that's excitement. That's just music in its simplest form without thinking so much. Show my appreciation for him, that's hard because the record was a big record already, and he made it even bigger by putting a twist on it. So it was like Roses had a brand new branch.
Yeah.
So I shout him out all the time.
Yeah.
But it's hard to really show the magnitude of, yo, we did this, I made this record,
Yeah.
and you enhanced this record.
Yeah.
So I could only say it like that. I say it like right now.
When did you get word that Future was fucking with it, and how did that become to kind of do more like kind of real pure hip hoppy kind of remix to the joint?
Well, think about it, right? You heard the original Roses, and you know when it came out, and that story hadn't finished being told. So by the time the dance remix came and people were discovering me for the first time, I was like, yo, I'm a kid from Brooklyn, and y'all, let's not misunderstand that. I knew because we put it out one time and we put it out twice. I was like, I could do this as many times as I want. It's mine. I was like, we got to feed the streets. So we reached out. Chubby actually hit Future up, and it was so simple. Chubby Baby put that together. Shout out to Chubby. And Future jumped on it and he showed super love.
Yeah, you can tell.
He came to the video. He showed up. And I know what it's like. You a big artist. You want to pop in for like 10 minutes. You don't even want to really be there. And he was there. He was holding it down. That's real love. I appreciate that.
But back to the album. Besides the great collaboration, so to me, the first two records came out, symbolized so much of the record. Sucks to Be You and Gorgeous. And when I listen to your music, when I really deep dive into the lyrics, I think it's interesting how sometimes you kind of have this parallel where like you kind of touch on women and then you touch on your personal struggle at times, right? Like I feel like when I first heard Sucks to Be You, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a breakup song, right? Like, you know, you wasn't there, but then you get deep into your struggle coming up, just a kid from Brooklyn and like getting to 22 years old and having to make a choice. Can you talk about what you were trying to say in those lyrics for that song, Sucks to Be You?
The truth is, Sucks to Be You, the story of that, it sucks to be her because it hurts me. That's the real God's honest. I'm talking about what it was like struggling to just make it out of New York, or struggling to make it out of Brooklyn, or struggling to just make it out the hood. And I was homeless, and my mom kicked me out at some point, and I had this dream, and I was just hustling. Yeah. And a good friend of mine gave me a place to stay. She let me stay on a couch. She let me live there for 3 years, and I was homeless. And as I was manifesting and watching these dreams mature, she was standing by my side like, yo, she was applauding for me. She was clapping, supporting it as it was happening. And we drifted apart in our relationship. And that hurt me so much that the only way I could really express it. Now, all of my stories are stitched together.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? Because it's my real life. So there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all belong to the same week, although they have different experiences on different days. So the story of my struggle, being homeless, really trying to make music crack, related to a friend of mine who gave me a place to stay, who I love to this date. But we had to go separate ways, and that hurts me. So in my mind, the only way to vent that is to say, it sucks to be you, because I wish you were here so we could toast this champagne toast together.
Yeah.
So we could raise our glasses for something we both believe in. She was one of the earliest believers in this sport that I decided I wanted to be Michael Jordan in. She said you could do it. She gave me a place to stay, and she gave me enough courage and support that allowed me to believe in that continuously. That was a long time ago.
What do you think the key was for this kid from Brooklyn to make it, man? How did you stay so determined, man? I mean, you have a Rockefeller chain on. Like, that's every Brooklyn kid's dream, man. Like, how did you stay the course? And what do you think the key was to like getting yourself into this position you're at now?
I saw my life in 10-year gaps. I thought about the future the whole time. So wherever I was at the time, let's say today is January 1st, 2021. I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it like I was marching towards January 1st, 2031. And if I figured I had a long runway, then I could build my dreams with a long runway. All I needed was I needed enough time to find the right time in. Right? So if I gave myself that length of time, then nothing could stop me. Only thing that could get in my way is me. I'm hatching out a plan. I've given myself enough time, and I'm not boggled down by the things that are affecting me right now. I'll give you a real world example. I figure if today I wanted to holler at a chick and she was a super bad, and she was like, nah, I wouldn't be discouraged by that. In my mind, I'm going to be who I'm supposed to be. She's going to remember. I won't spend too much time exhausting myself on who I'm not today, because I knew who I'm supposed to be. And as long as I get there, I'll be fine. So in my mind, I lived in the process. I lived my whole life in the process, and I was comfortable with that. I decided the man I was going to be later in life, and I marched towards that. I'm going to be the guy that's artistic, with integrity, real nigga from a real place, real stories. The people around me going to love me for who I am. And like I had this idea of who I needed to be as a human, like as a man. Yeah. And all the other things sort of fall in line because I said no a lot too.
Yeah.
I said no way more than I said yes. I said no like I had money, means, and resources. I said no. I didn't do the deal I didn't want to do. I didn't jump in a relationship that was almost a relationship I wanted to be in. So in some ways I suffered until I could thrive. And I'm saying in some ways, I know that definitively. I suffered until I could thrive.
Yeah. Well, you're thriving with this guy Biggs too, man. Kareem Biggs Burke. I saw something in the thing in Complex. You said one thing that first connected you guys is that your big ideas didn't scare him. You know, like talk about that and talk about how like now with the success and the attention and like, you know, literally circle of success, like how has your relationship with Biggs grown and why is he the right manager for you and right partner?
Biggs is my brother, first of all. It's like my long lost brother that I never got to meet until later. It means everything to me. I'm really searching for the words. You find somebody that believes in you the way that you believe in yourself, and it doesn't matter at what point they meet you, and you could tell that they have integrity. He's a guy cut from a cloth that I come from. I watched Rockefeller growing up. I watched this chain growing up. I wanted this since I was 11.
Yes, sir.
Right? I had that dream in my head, but I didn't know it was real. It wasn't like you're going to get a Rockefeller chain. That was a part of the roadmap for me, like one of those things on a wish list that you hope for.
Yeah.
I know who I was going to be. I know who I'd be when I grew up. I know the type of man I would be. And the hope was I would maybe I get a Rockefeller chain on the way. So I studied everything that they were doing from a distance because my pops wasn't really involved and I didn't have a lot of male leadership or enough examples to help myself cultivate the type of mind I would need to escape whatever circumstances I had coming from poverty. Yeah. So I let the TV halfway raise me, but I only turned on the channels that I wanted to inform me. And one of those channels was Rockefeller, and I got to see Jane, Dame, and Biggs, but I didn't even know Biggs' involvement. I thought he was a silent partner. I didn't know how loud his silent partner was.
I remember when he wouldn't speak.
I didn't realize how impactful and important he was because his role is one that doesn't get spoken of very often.
Absolutely.
When you hear what he was doing, he was creating a culture. He really did it. I can't tell you. Yeah. I need him to tell you.
Off the record, Stage. Off the record. We try to stay on title, baby. We try to stay on title. What's that?
So when I met him and he believed in me the same way that I believed in me, I was cool with that. I had no expectations of his resources, his Rolodex. I didn't expect him to do anything. I just wanted to know another real nigga was with me and we was going to war together. And that was it. That was really it.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd already put out collection 1 and I was marching towards my second collection. And I met a nigga that came from a place I came from. Right. He from Harlem, I'm from Brooklyn. It's New York all the same.
Yes, sir.
And he watched people scream their dreams to the top of their lungs, unrealistic dreams. And he ain't flinched the first 2 times. The first time was Kanye, and the first time was Jay, and the second time was Kanye.
Yes, sir.
So when I saw he didn't flinch the third time, and he was 15 years removed. Yeah. He hadn't been in the music business for 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that can go out of pocket for 15 years and come back and be in a pocket.
Yeah, sir.
He didn't give me no promises. He ain't say, yo, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, I'm gonna make this happen for you. He just said, I love your music. And I said, cool, that's enough for me. Let's just go to war together. I know you're gonna go to war with me. I don't care who's in your phone book. I know we're gonna figure it out. That's inspiring to me. He didn't come for anything other than the fact that he believed in me. He said, I believe in what you're doing. And I sat down with, for the people that are listening that don't know, I've gone through dozens of managers.
Mm-hmm.
I've sat down with the most influential managers on the planet, the people that have the greatest artists. How and why I did that is because I was learning and studying my business. And everybody in this business is in business.
Yes, sir.
If you got something to offer, anybody's willing to have a conversation with you because relationships are key. So I started off as a songwriter, hustled my way into understanding how A&Rs worked, built enough relationships, took money from my publishing deal and bet on my artist deal, negotiated my publishing deal myself. Like really, I negotiated my own publishing deal.
Crazy.
I made them put an artist fund. Now, this is going to be the standard now. Now, everybody that hears this, they're going to demand this. I made them put an artist fund in my publishing deal so that I could pay for things like videos and press. It wasn't a lot of money, but I needed them to show me that if they believed in my pen, that they believed in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I did a publishing deal right after I wrote a record for Usher. And they gave me a little bit of money. It wasn't a lot. They gave me like $100,000, right? And be real specific, 150. 150 after taxes is like 90. I took the 90 and I put it to work. I shot videos. I hired press. We were spending $50,000 a year on my recording studio. I believed in myself enough to spend a third of the publishing money just on a space that I could only have for 12 months. But I was betting on myself.
Yes, sir.
I took that. I leveraged that and put out Roses and started building a certain degree of digital assets. So, you know, I like talking in these terms so people know this is business.
Yes, sir.
I straddle the line where art and business meet, right? Where they meet. Art and business make commerce for me. And if they can't have an agreeable relationship, I don't really want to do it. I don't want to do art for free, and I don't want to do bad business. So I kept betting on myself.
Yeah. Empower creative, man. Empower creative.
It takes that much. Yeah. I figured if I built it, they couldn't say it wasn't real. If I can ask you permission to build it, right? I come to you and I say, yo, Elliot, I'm trying to build something, bro. Go up with me. And I got to paint you the picture and tell you what it's going to be and tell you how sexy it's going to be and tell you they're going to be bottles around. I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm going to go build it. Then take a picture and send it to him. He's going to show up anyway.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, what are your plans to take it further, man? The bucket list, you keep knocking things off this bucket list, man. I think you're running out of space, man. What's the rest of 2021 look like for you?
You know what it is? When you hit this point, you hit 2 billion streams on one song.
Woo.
Collection 1 just went gold.
Woo.
I've already done my 3rd world tour. I haven't done a stadium yet. Let me do my stadium. Big said I got to do a stadium. I'm going to do a stadium.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to tell you anything generic. Any rapper could tell you they're going to do movies. That's cool. If I do movies, maybe I'll direct it. Skincare. This glow can't go to waste.
Yeah. No, I saw you do something. You did something with one of the companies, right? You said your mom taught you to rub the joint up.
You got to rub the joint up. Listen, everybody I know, right? All these street niggas be asking me what I do with my skin. And I get it that men don't have the type of currency or the type of courage.
Stay courageous, my G. Stay courageous, right? My guy.
They don't got the type of courage to want to be tough and beautiful, and I'm cool. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So skincare is next. A lot of additional investments, but it's music and art right now. Skincare after.
Okay, and it's While the World Was Burning. And we might get collection 2 after this. That's what the streets
You might get collection 2 after this.
Nah, but John, thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. I mean, some of this was serious, but I think it was much needed, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a big personality, but you also got the big heart and a big vision. I think that it's great to see you have people really connecting to it in all ways and all days, man.
Thank you, bro. I'm excited to really see it happen. And you getting to see it in real time. I wanted this to happen on Collection 1, but I'm on time. I just was a little bit early now.
Yes, sir, man. Continued success, man.
Thank you, bro. I'll talk to you very soon.
Yes, sir. St. John, baby. Title check in.